We'll do it live! Fuck it!
These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. Look, fast.
Hillary Clinton is one of the most disgusting human beings on the planet.
Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense. Right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is The Lost Art of Common Sense, brought to you by our merch shop. So buy our shit.
Buy our shit.
As you may or may not been able to tell from the opening video, we're talking about protesters today and how the protesters of today are super lame and stupid. I'm not sure if that guy was pointing a holstered gun or a cell phone at the guy, but
It looked like a cell phone, right?
I think so. I wasn't sure.
He's lucky he didn't get shot.
Yeah. You could, well, the way he was driving and using mannerisms like that could, be taken as a deadly threat. So, yeah, I don't know. All this protesting that's been going on for, the last 5 years has annoyed the crap out of me since the beginning. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make an episode talking about how annoying and stupid today's protesters are.
Yes, please. This is going to be awesome.
So, Kevin, what's your 30K feet up view of modern protests?
They're dumb. They don't really do anything. Mostly bad actors or virtue signalers. And basically just piss off everybody because it blocks traffic.
Well, yeah, those are illegal.
Well, if they have a permit, they can.
They can't get a permit to block an interstate.
Oh, no, those people suck. I'm just talking about, like, downtown fucking, like, traffic or something.
Well, yeah. I don't even know if you get a permit for that, but then they rope the streets off, so you're not really blocking traffic. Traffic's diverted because of the protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. They just annoy the crap out of me. It's like they've become, I said 2020, but really, there is a group in PCU of just assholes that run around with blank pop-up protest signs and they write whatever bullshit that they want to.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, and that's literally happening today.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's
so if
what
you
it
haven't
is.
checked it out, check out PCU.
Yeah, that is that might have to be a movie for Matt to review in an upcoming
Ooh, that is
segment.
a good movie for Matt to review. So, a segment is now ending this week, so make sure you stay to the end for a memoriam of White Slurs of the Week.
It's a very sad day.
It is a sad day. This is a hard day. This hits right in the feels.
It's hit me right in my feelies. Yeah, but I think we did it justice on the final installment. Has there been a successful movement since the civil rights? Like a successful protest since the civil rights movement?
I don't think so. I mean, what you have to realize what people don't, I don't know what they're protesting anymore. I mean, I don't even think they know what they're protesting anymore. Half these people are just out there because, it's a niche thing to do, the the cool kids are doing it or whatever. You know, your group of friends are doing it. So you see a lot of people, you want to be part of the crowd. I mean, no one has real conviction, not like the civil rights movement did, where, you know, it was a large group of people being oppressed. So, you know, now people like fake oppression and pretend, then do a movement, but, you know, they don't have any conviction behind it. So, no, I don't believe any, there hasn't been a successful movement since civil rights.
Yeah, as far as like sparking permanent change, I mean, like the protests over Vietnam where what was that actress's name? The one that theoretically should have been thrown in prison. What's her name?
You are just, sometimes you just give the worst descriptions for me to try to figure out what you're saying.
I'm trying to think of what movies she was in.
What was the protest about?
Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
She protests everything nowadays, too.
Oh.
Let's see.
Well, she's a fucking, like, wasn't she like a Chinese spy or a communist? Or she was.
No, well, she aligned herself with the Communist Party.
Yeah, I thought she was a spy too, though. But somehow she didn't, somehow. Well, I keep wanting to go with Goldie Hawn, but definitely wasn't Goldie Hawn.
No. She's a patriot.
She is a patriot.
And if she's not, she's at least married to one.
Oh, my God.
I'll find it here.
Hannah? No. And then Daryl Hannah? No.
It's a pretty popular.
I know. Wasn't she like
it's right there too. It's knocking on the door.
Pin up like women, like people used to get posters of her and stuff.
Maybe I know that she was in a movie that was like Barbarina or something.
Barbarella.
Like that. Barbarella.
Yeah, but I can't remember who the Holly Hunter. No.
Nope. I'll know it as soon as you say it.
I don't know.
The only movie I can think that she was in.
Anybody know? Please comment. Please comment.
Yes.
Our chat is open, so make sure
Chat
you.
is open.
God, I can't remember her name. This is killing me.
It's right there too. I almost blurted out and then nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's just move on because this is.
Yeah, it'll pop up sooner or later. But
long,
no, like she was.
If you just scream a name in the middle of the show.
That's who I was talking about.
Yeah.
No, but the reason why I brought it up is because she was huge into fighting against Vietnam, stuff like that. And that protest was to end the war, to end the killing, all that shit. And it was kind of successful as far as like because of them constantly protesting. And I don't know if we had accurate polling back then, but politicians being weak, they're like, oh, we got to. They basically what the way I see it is they caused politicians to throttle the military, which probably prolonged the war and ended up with more death.
Yeah, because what we did was we went light. So.
Yeah. Which, that's why, like, if we handle things the way we should be.
It's weird you can say that, and we used Agent Orange.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I'm just saying, like, it should be any enemy of the United States' biggest fear for the military to ever get involved with anything. Because even with our, like, depleted stuff from Ukraine and Biden not really keeping up with the military under his 4 years, I still don't think that we can cause, if we just went, we no longer want you around, I'm pretty sure we could still, we're not designed for long, drawn-out engagements. We're a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am kind of military.
Exactly.
But, like, it's a very, if you just let the military do what the military needs to do, boom.
Agreed.
It'd be done. So that, I mean, that kind of the Tea Party, like, at least with the Tea Party protesters, if somebody came up and interviewed them, they gave a cohesive response to why they were there and what they were protesting for.
Yeah.
Where you see all these like places go out and and talk to these protesters and be like, oh, why are you here? Oh, because Trump's bad. Why is that? And then, or they'll go in and they'll name off a bunch of shit Obama did.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's super
the
messed
best.
up. It's like, oh yeah, Obama did that. So you can tell they're just idiots out there. Like they have no lives. So that's what they made their lives. It kind of seems like somebody at some point created a template for protesting based on things that may have worked in the past, like the civil rights movements, like a manual for protesting, if you will. If that is the case, is it a plan of action with a high probability of success?
No, obviously it's not. It's worked once. And let's be real. you have a better chance of getting your voice heard on X or whatever than you do protesting. It doesn't work. Like I said, all it does is annoy people. All you're like the people you're protesting against, they don't give a shit. Like they're not gonna listen to you. I'm sorry, they're not. Uh, so basically, all you're doing is just you know let's get around a bunch of people that think the same as you and thinking you're doing something. You're not. No one gives a shit. I'm sorry. Uh, this country's too divided, so it doesn't matter. Whatever you're protesting, the people who you're protesting against don't care.
So what you're telling me is protests like this didn't make you want to flog yourself. Seems like this.
Who puts this much work?
I don't know. It's kind of
I bet that's a dude.
I did everything.
I don't know.
I airbrushed it, I designed it, I do my own makeup, everything.
I am absolutely 100%.
I have no words. This is
I did everything. I spent 8 years making this dress.
It's so very talented.
Thank you.
I don't know about that, but like she did everything. I did everything. That was part of the Saturday thing where I got in a bunch of back and forth on the old Facebook because there was 100 people here that stood out in a snowstorm to protest stuff.
What were they protesting?
It was the same. It was the not going to stand for it or some bullshit.
Stand for what, though? What are you
Trump.
standing for? Just Trump?
Yeah.
Pick a topic, at least one thing.
Well, that's what I put in I commented on it saying, I wonder how many of those people could say what and why they're protesting other than Orange Man bad or regurgitate some left wing,
You
headline.
look like a lunatic. You're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. You don't know what you're protesting. Just Orange Man bad. At least give specifics. At least one thing that he fucking did that is actually bad.
Well, the problem is
Not something that you just made up in your mind that you think's bad. Like he's a Nazi or he's Hitler or he's a fascist. I mean, that shit doesn't fly. Those are empty words anymore. They don't mean anything. You ruined the word Nazi. I mean, shut the fuck up.
you ruined it.
I'm just saying you did. You ruined it. You made it mean nothing. It used to be a really bad thing to be a Nazi. Now everybody's a fucking Nazi.
Well, it means something to left wingers because there's a
No,
lot
it
of
doesn't.
people that,
It's just a word so they can try to win an argument. It doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm not talking about I'm talking about the people that are actually like in the opening video where they're doing stupid shit toward other people. Like those people drank all the Kool-Aid.
You're an idiot if you're painting swastikas on Teslas. That's a hate crime. You can't draw a swastika. Only people who support the fucking Nazis draw swastikas. What are you doing? You're a fucking idiot.
Spreading the symbol of
That's
the
why people are getting hate crimes like put on them because they're putting swastikas on shit.
Wow, that's what that one guy did, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I mischanneled my rage or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, does Elon own this car? Is this Elon's car? No, it's my fucking car. What the fuck?"
You have that video or no?
But what's the point of protesting then? Like, people started protesting. Why do people protest? Not why these people. I'm talking about in general. What is the point of protesting?
The main point of protesting is to try to bring light to a cause, to change people's minds, to convert, to change people's mind on your issue. You're supposed to protest, but I mean, there's supposed to be meaning behind your protest, good meaning. So, I mean, I think it's just to bring something to light, but
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be good
everybody
meaning,
protests
really, but-
about anything, everything and more. So just like the word Nazi, protests mean nothing.
Well, and that's kind of what, that's why you protest. So you think there's an injustice or you want to change. So you go out, you tell people about your you protest what you want to change. So you bring light to the issue and then you turn public opinion in your side.
Yeah.
So them going out now, pissing people off. Like if you go out they're like, we need to disrupt people's lives to bring, attention. Like that's not going to work ever. Is that?
If
going to
anything,
work?
it's going to ruin your cause.
It pisses people off. Like the the clip from when they tried to block the burning. What is it? Is it Burning Man? Yeah, the big thing out in the desert where people
Yeah.
get really weird.
Yep, Burning Man.
Where the county sheriff just showed up and just freaking bulldozed their trailer. May or may not have dragged one of the protesters.
Yeah.
Not very far. He just pushed it off the road. But
mean,
yeah,
this-
if your whole goal is to go out like with these people that are like trying to push for abortion rights and like wearing shirts. I had 13 abortions. I love all of them. Like, how are you going to change someone who's pro-life to pro-choice doing that?
I'm trying to figure out did the civil rights movement like actually change, or was it people already had, the North or whatever? I mean, I don't think a lot of Southerners really wanted it
No, I think
and never wanted it.
The civil rights movements work because, well, since the founding of the nation, I do know that they talked about it. They didn't want to have slavery, but there was a lot of arguments from, people founding the country that there's no way they're going to be able to form the country by abolishing it from the start. So I know that from our founding, they've wanted to work to get rid of it. But even then, there were a lot of Democrats pushing to keep discrimination and all that stuff.
There wasn't like really one party up until like 1860 something.
Yeah, they passed something to create two parties, but when the civil rights movement was going on, that's when we still had segregation and discrimination, and people wanted to change that. But like, in order to get a politician to do anything, you have to make them.
You have to be able to get them out of office.
Yeah, well, and what happened is the civil rights movement pointed out to it. The reaction from the local, state, and federal government to those protests and a lot of things changed the hearts and minds of the country, which pushed the politicians to do what they should have done without all of that. And that's what did it. I think the protests back in the day, the civil rights movement, did help push it along.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's first of its kind, but I mean, it was the first major protest that happened, like the Million Man March, all that shit. I mean, they didn't work out so well in the South, but I mean, you got to give them kudos because they did, they protested and they got like hit with water hoses. I mean,
well, and
put in jail.
You could make the argument that because of like protesting in the South, where people were really aggressive against it, they had cameras back then. That stuff was shown, and them going through that, sickened enough people to were like, no, this is wrong. This is stupid. I agree with that. We need to make this change.
Well, I mean, the fact that I think protests don't work anymore is there isn't like, I wouldn't say there's like a violent anti-protest, like anti-anything. Usually if anybody gets arrested on protest anymore, it's because they, became riots, which we'll get into later. But I don't think there's like no one feels as vehemently about any issue anymore as they did about the civil rights movement, because there were some people that really did not want black people to vote, black people to have segregation, all that stuff.
Yeah, they were called Democrats.
Yeah, well, I know, but I mean, there wasn't that. No one got the only violence you see anymore are the people protesting. It's not the people trying to stop a protest. It's always the people protesting anymore.
So, but it did.
The
seem
establishment doesn't like the establishment doesn't have a hard no on anything. I mean,
no, not anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, like there were politicians that were absolutely against segregation, 100%. I mean, I guess you can say that there's. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say there's politicians.
Pretty sure Joe Biden was one of them.
Trans people or like trans and kids. But I don't think any politicians like against like a trans people after 18, whatever. They might find it disturbing, but I don't think they're like, you can't do it. Once you're an adult, they're just against children.
A
being
true
trans.
not give a shit Gen Xer doesn't care what anybody does after 18, as long as you don't have to play along with their bullshit.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
Not even a Gen Xer, just the kind of people like us that care enough to make a podcast, but not give a shit enough to care what you actually do to yourself.
No, do whatever you do yourself. I can give two shits. I'm sorry, I don't. It doesn't really affect me too much.
Just as long as it doesn't affect me.
As long as I don't have to fucking play into your delusion, do whatever you want.
Well, why did all these current protests seem to have gained traction so fast, like in the 2020s, and then now they seem to be stuck in the mud? Like, what changed? Because they were instituting and causing a lot of change, and not necessarily because of the, moving hearts and minds and popular vote. I don't know if it was because they were loud and the cancel culture was strong, so it made it look like it was bigger than what it was. But DEI, and I don't know, they've changed it so many times, but so many acronyms, but all that crap which actually caused segregation and discrimination, that took hold pretty quick. And now it seemed like it took Trump getting elected a second time to kind of throw the brakes on it. Like, I mean, what is it that changed? Why does nobody give a shit anymore?
I don't know if they don't give a shit. I think they're actually opposed to it. I think
I think they were opposed to it back then.
People thought there was change and there was like a racist systematic racism. And when all this shit happened, they realized that maybe we might have miscalculated things.
Well, yeah, but who thought that back in the 20s? Like, I remember they were saying it, and I
In
remember
2020?
and I remember growing up, and I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Because when you have to understand, Trump, this is what happened. Trump was president. He was running for president. People didn't like Trump. So they found something that Democrats could latch onto, and the media latched onto it too, so Trump could look bad in a bad light, to where he would not be president again. It's all political. These protests didn't really, but once they got their guy in and all this stuff was implemented, people found out, hey, this is stupid as fuck. So they decided to go back to Trump. So that's what happened.
You don't think it has
The
anything
media
to do?
has everything to do with it. The way the news coverage plays it, that had everything to do with it. The way newspapers printed it, that has everything to do with it. They wanted to look sympathetic. Well, all they really wanted to do was get Trump out of office.
This isn't in the questions. I think it does pertain to what we're talking about, but
What up, Jed?
But so you have freedom of the press, and I believe that. Like, the press should be able to do their job, report on what the government is doing. Should the press be protected when they're engaging in propaganda? Like selling provable falsehoods.
No, I think if it's provable falsehoods, well,
But they just say, we didn't know. We didn't know. Like, should there
but
be...
if you can prove that they just made up a story, then yes, they should be able to go to jail.
I'm just... Yeah, because I believe in freedom
they
of the
should
press.
go
So we
to,
have
it's
to
not freedom
have
of the
it.
press when you just make something up to create a panic.
Yeah.
That's not freedom of press. That's creating a panic.
Isn't that what
That's-
the press has been doing since, like, the 60s?
I don't know how Jeffrey Goldberg, or whatever his name is, the guy that was actually led on the whatever signal chat, that's the guy that made up that fucking phony thing about the suckers and losers thing that Trump said, that everybody else on the planes or on the helicopters, like, no, he didn't say it.
I thought
He just said anonymous sources, and no one could prove what the anonymous sources are, or like anybody on that plane would said no. Everybody. He didn't say that. So the anonymous sources obviously are made up.
You just blame a Jew.
I don't know if he's Jewish. Sounds like he is, but I mean,
Really inappropriate.
no.
I think it has to do
People
with,
of all races, creeds, religious can be pieces of shit. That
don't
is
think-
my point.
You don't think the left and the media have an overwhelming hatred toward the Oompa Loompa people, and that's why they don't like Trump?
They might. I don't know. I think they're just scared of Trump. Trump is more middle than most Republicans ran on.
He's not a far right conservative at all.
No. If
Really,
anything,
no populist candidate is going to be really far to any side. To be
no,
honest,
but they don't like him because he's not a politician. He's just some dude that came in and wanted to shake things up and do things for the American people instead of lining people's pockets. It was all fucking, hey, this guy could really fucking, expose some shit and fucking change shit, so we're going against him.
So my next question has to do with this, and we'll talk about it after because we've talked about this before. And I think, well, we'll talk about it after.
If protecting your identity at protests is important to you, here's a few things you can do. Wear a mask, wear a head covering, and put your hair up as much as possible. Boom, little bun. Get you some big old sunglasses. Anything you wear should be plain, mass-produced, or thrifted, and definitely not something that's like a staple of your closet, not something you wear often. It's hot out, or if you're showing a lot of skin, you might want to cover up any tattoos or identifiable markings. You can get a sleeve like this, like at the store, or you can cut up some old socks. Compression socks are ideal for making sleeves like this, but socks like this will do. If you're worried about it, you can leave your phone at home. I don't really think that's necessary, but stay safe out there, guys.
It's necessary if you have ever heard of geolocating.
This is my main thing.
So that's my question. Do you think you should be able to hide your identity when you're protesting?
This pisses me off more than anything. If you believe in what you're protesting, show yourself. Otherwise, you're a fake actor. You're a piece of shit. You don't believe in your cause. If I believe in something, and look at this, we both been doing, what, 300 some or 100 some goddamn shows specifically saying what we believe in. If you believe in something, show your damn face. Otherwise, you're a fake actor, probably getting paid. No one believes you because they can't see you. So
I'm not sure I appreciate you linking our show as some type of protest.
We're not a protest, but we at least...
Yeah, I don't know. I think, ironically enough, Russia actually made it illegal to hide your identity in a protest because they were under the understanding that there were paid protesters.
Yeah, and that's what you assume. That's exactly what I assume. I assume they're fake actors being brought in and being paid.
Well, we know they are because
yeah. What do you think it smells like?
Sandalwood and BO.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's why I assume all protests smell like.
A lot of BO and a lot of sandalwood.
For sure, BO. A lot of people in a small areas.
Yeah, I think that if these people sit here, oh, I got a First Amendment right, like, yeah, you do. And if you're going to go out and protest, then you should.
Well, I don't care. I mean, you should believe in what
I feel if someone is disguising themselves, they're probably up to no good, which is why they had to drop, they actually had to pass laws in big cities to where you can't wear masks anymore because people were taking advantage of that in order to rob people.
There's a reason everybody thinks January 6th was set up by, there were bad actors in it because half the people were wearing fucking face masks. And exactly what that girl fucking told you to fucking wear. I'm just saying that's what they wore. Then everybody else who got caught or whatever happened to be people just wandering around with no face mask, no sunglasses, maybe sunglasses. I don't know. It might have been bright out. I can't remember. But there might have been a few sunglasses, but they didn't wear fucking face masks.
What do you think, Matt? Do you think protesters should be able to hide their identity?
No, I think that's stupid. I've seen a few TikTok videos of some protests that people do, and a lot of them are wearing masks. Most of them don't care, and I think they need to be out in the open and be like, "Hey, this is me. This is what I believe in." But the ones that are masked up and hiding are just cowards and kind of like what Kevin said, pieces of shit.
Yeah, you don't remember the people in the civil rights movement fucking hiding their face? No, they did that shit proudly. They marched proudly. They got arrested. They were getting they showed their face. People knew who they were. People were proud of what they did. When, black people who marched through it, they were proud that they did it. They told people they did it. Now, these people are hiding their faces. They're not proud. They don't have any conviction.
You're just saying that because as soon as the protest is over, everybody leaves.
At a set time at 4 p.m. All of a sudden, there's no people left.
They said no overtime. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when does protesting cross over from freedom of speech to something more along the lines of rioting and/or terrorism?
Go ahead, Matt. It's all up to you, buddy.
When they start vandalizing things, when they start...
That's a good call.
the moment it starts getting physical with anything is a riot. When you're throwing crap at people, when you're vandalizing buildings, when you're doing whatever,
Taking over a
and
building.
that too. But and then when there's other people there to talk to you about why you're protesting and stuff, and you get physical with them, and it's just stupid. People are dumb. I agree with protests. You should be able to protest. It's your right to do that, but don't fucking go overboard. That's just dumb.
Kind of sounds like every Colombia protest has been an actual act of domestic terrorism.
That's why people are getting their visas taken away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't
just because,
people
they
understand-
took over buildings,
Well, yeah, I wanna go
harassed
over
and
this.
threatened students,
there's-
defaced property.
They have so
When
far
you're
canceled
Go ahead.
300 visas of people who have participated in those.
Well, when you're going out of your way to entice fear, you're trying to make people fear you. That is not a protest. That is terrorism. That is just fucking being a dick.
Which is the
But
same as
frankly-
terrorism.
Yeah.
That's basically what terrorism
Wait a
is.
minute, hold
Being
on.
a dick.
Not every dick is a terrorist, but every terrorist is a
Yeah.
dick.
There you go. There you go. I like that. Why am I
You're fine.
slow? I don't know. Whatever.
You're great on our end. Don't worry about it. What
Okay,
you
cool.
see is not what they see, Matt. Unless you disappear, then it becomes a problem. Yeah, well, and here's what ticks me off too, because granted, I think we're all in agreement. The whole January 6th thing in the Capitol was fucking stupid, whether or not they were goaded to go in or not. But they called that an insurrection so they could suspend their Fifth Amendment rights. Yet people can take over an entire block in Washington and nothing.
Yeah.
No,
Nicotine.
I don't live in those states.
Yeah.
Apparently yet.
Yeah.
But I don't partake anyway. I partake in...
Just drink it for me.
But
Hey, look at this. According
I
to
think-
Omara Law Group, it says a protest may turn into a riot when it involves the destruction of property, the use of weapons, or when it results in people becoming injured or killed. Once rioting begins, people are no longer protected by the First Amendment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I don't know what happened to all the people on Chaz or Chop or whatever the hell they call that
Nothing.
stupid shit.
Nothing, because Washington and what is it? Oregon.
Oregon and yeah.
They're
But like, people like totally. Oh no, they were just protesting. They needed their voices heard, and yet they call people from January 6th insurrectionists, and they can just sit in a jail indefinitely without actually being charged.
Did you see the? Yeah.
It's the double standard that pisses people on the right off.
Yes, exactly. I going to the steps we talked about Washington and Oregon. Do you see what was it the Greater Idaho thing that like part of I think Oregon wants to become part of Idaho because their politics don't align with like Portland and
Oh yeah, they've wanted that for a
Yeah.
while.
yeah.
They've been trying to
Why?
get that carve out for a long time.
Because it's the rural part of I think Oregon is
Yeah, it's like-
mostly Republican.
The southeast corner or something, or
I think it's the whole east side of Oregon. Like there's
Eastern Oregon effort to join Idaho reflects growing American vibe.
then
Both
then
counties.
like the top like Iowa's trying to take like 10 counties from southern 10 counties from Minnesota.
yeah, we'll
Because-
bring you on. Come on,
because they don't want to be they don't want to be ruled by Democrats anymore.
it's that fertile corn.
Well, the Iowa governor is not running again.
I know that sucks. Kim Riddle
She
was
said
awesome.
today she's not doing it.
Yeah, that sucks. We're probably going to get somebody like Terry Branstad again.
You're probably going to get
God.
Terry Branstad.
Yeah, it might be Terry Branstad himself. He's back from China. From
Hey, he
Trump's-
brought a lot of industry to Davenport, buddy.
Yeah, fucking rhino.
I mean, I don't know if the farmer across the street that
Tim Reynolds did more in 2 terms than fucking Branstad did in fucking 30 years.
Yeah, but he still got some stupid gun laws, so. So.
Yeah, I hope we get a more two-way friendly governor.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people think that you can be two-way friendly by just ignoring it, which.
Like, she's super, like, you know, anti, like, trans, like, kids and, like, women and
Why is she not running
men and
again?
women's sports, all that stuff.
Rumors
And
are
she's
her going
pro
for higher
school
office.
choice, school choice and stuff like that, but she is not a big gun advocate.
She's just a loser.
The only thing that I read was that she talked to her family a lot, and they decided she's not doing it.
It's good for her. I mean,
more
like,
family
she's
person.
not trying to, like, overstay her. I mean, she did what she wanted to do. She tried to enact change, and she did in Iowa. And, you know, she helped grow Iowa into a Republican powerhouse.
I feel like you should run for governor, Kevin.
I am not going to run for governor.
Do it.
No one's going to. Who's going to fund me?
There'll be plenty of people that could fund you.
I can't even get
grassroots.
We can't even get 100 people to view our video. How the fuck am I going to get anybody to get me to be governor?
Because you're not going
Not with that attitude.
door to door. Well, you know, if you like, share, subscribe, and comment, that would help that. And
That
maybe
would-
Kevin would
hey.
run for governor.
Hey, if we get out, hey, we have a year and a half, right? I think she's 2022 or 2027. She's out or whatever. If we get a million if we get a million subscribers, I'll run for governor.
Well, I'll get
Through
a bunch
all
of
of our
bots.
channels. We get a million people.
I'll get a bunch of
Do
bots
it,
to
people.
subscribe.
I'll run for governor.
So
Has to be real people. People.
It'll be a real person.
let's see. Yes.
Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, I don't give a shit.
So the country had similar nonstop, mind-numbing protesting put on by the hippies. It's always the hippies back in the day.
Oh,
But
blame a hippie.
they eventually tapered off and for the most part went away. Do you think today's protesters will
And a bunch of them got shot at Kent State.
will subside? And if so, how and why?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're just
Sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted.
No. Kevin talked. They distracted me, and my mind's
Okay, so all the annoying protests back in the day eventually went away, mostly because the government finally got tired of their shit and just fucking came down hard on them. But they, for the most part, went away other than the diehard hippies. Do you think these protests that have been going on pretty heavy since 2020 are eventually going to go away? And if so, how and why?
No, because people are never satisfied. Even if
They were in the 60s. We didn't have a whole lot of protesting, like big turns.
that's because everybody got high all the time.
In the 70s and 80s, protests pretty much stopped.
Everybody was open about free love and jergies and everything.
Those were the people protesting.
Yeah.
So it did stop. It did subside.
And this
You
is
didn't
their
have
children.
these
And
giant
this is their
movements.
children.
So we just stuck with all these annoying dumbasses that go out, or is it like
Yes.
if the?
We're stuck for a while.
But
it's
are
not
we?
Gonna, it's not going to
Like you say, they're all paid, Kevin. So if the money stops flowing, are we still going to have all these protests?
I think you will. I think you'll still have people.
You will by the old people.
No, not the old people will stop protests. They're not getting paid. That's who's getting paid. And I don't know, man.
I mean, you always got this lady. I mean, she's probably not going away.
But I mean, I don't think. Yeah, they probably will. I think, or they'll just become so small, no one cares. Once the funds run out, and I think
We have to fuck Trump.
I mean, it's all fucking show anyway. So yeah, I think they will because.
I mean,
really
because
not
let's
doing
say
anything.
that things work out. Things are a little rough and up in the air right now, but I mean, they are on the stock market and bond market was a little shaky there for a while, but you know, job numbers are up, inflation is down, stuff like that. So at some point, people are going to be like, well, what in the hell are you protesting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just going to come, well, I don't like the guy in office. I don't give a shit. Like, theoretically, it would be nice if we didn't really have to know or care about who is in the office or who is in Washington or what Washington was doing, because it shouldn't really be doing a whole lot of anything.
I mean, I don't know. It's just dumb. I just hate protests. They're dumb.
What numbers made up?
All numbers are made up.
Poll numbers?
Everything's made up.
Yeah. Somebody invented it.
Yeah, somebody did invent it.
Quote Thor.
The Egyptians.
Exactly.
They had math.
I don't know. Like, I didn't know that protest happened last weekend or whatever it did. I mean, I didn't know about it till like 2 days later. I mean, I had no idea. So
Well,
I'm probably the guy they're trying to convince or, are rooting against, and I had no idea they were even doing it. Your protest did nothing. It did nothing to change my mind. If anything, I'm more made up now. My mind is made up. Whatever you're protesting against, I'm for it. Whatever it was.
Well, that's the thing though too, because a lot of the stuff they're protesting is like they're just protesting to protest stuff. So like, when your protest goes from trying to end a war to being pro Hamas and stuff like that, and then just going out and incoherently protesting against stuff in Washington, and then going up again, this happened and this happened and this, they're doing this, doing that. I'm like, okay, well, if you read through your bullshit or actually do a little further things, what they're doing isn't bad. So,
well, here's the thing, right? Also, I mean, when people protest against Tesla, I mean, are you not for what's more important to you? Like saying Elon Musk is bad or the environment? Because that's what you're doing. You just gave up one of your main things. Like, I thought everybody on the left was for the environment, but now you're buying gas vehicles. Because
I do like that thing going around saying Elon should buy Harley to see how many people are going to fuck with a Harley outside a biker bar.
That'd be fucking funny.
That would be.
Because I feel like a lot of people harass Tesla owners because they think that Tesla owners aren't going to do anything.
Harley
a lot
does
of Tesla
have,
owners in certain areas are Democrats.
Harley does have an electric
People
bike.
are writing on their cars.
I bet an electric bike
I
is
support the
stupid
movement, but I bought this in
It is.
2020. Like, if you're afraid enough of your own party that you have to ride on your car not to vandalize it, then your party's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like, why are you still part of that?
Sorry, but your party's a piece of shit. Do you have video of like all the people who did not know what they were protesting?
No, I'd have to go
Didn't
back.
I send that to you?
I don't know. Did you?
I sent a bunch of crap to both of you, so I don't know.
Well, if you sending it to Kevin is worthless. Okay.
Yeah, you might as well send it to a brick wall. I mean, I watch them. I enjoy them. But
I
I'm
mean,
not
you
gonna
watch
put
them and you smile at them and you
Well,
laugh
yeah,
at
I
them.
like them, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to put them on the show because I don't know how to do stuff like that.
You
I
send
think
it
most.
to Kevin.
I think most.
I
of
don't
that,
know if you read my little line here. It says, does little to nothing. And that
true.
is very
Well,
true.
basically anything I send you, I send Josh. So
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
I'm here for dick jokes. And
well, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm the comic relief.
Okay. And the woman hater.
We make up monetary policy
Oh, I mean,
for
the unit of value used to
literally
be
create
like,
from nothing,
backed by gold.
and
But
yet
I
we
mean,
are
again,
burning-
everything's literally, yes, all money and all currency ever is backed by whatever we put value into it.
Well, it is now.
I mean, it was always. I mean,
Well, 'cause
even
we're off the
gold
gold
is this
standard.
made up value. I mean, it's not really worth anything. It's a fucking rock. Yeah, I'm just saying we put value into it because it was shiny at one point, and the Aztecs liked it, or whoever liked it because it was shiny.
Well, and it has a lot of
durable.
use.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean,
like diamonds are artificially like held up because there's no shortage of diamonds.
no,
And they're a girl's best friend.
like every
They are a girl's best friend. And you pay, hey babe, I'll buy you $10,000 rock, and then things are tough. Like, hey, let's pawn it. I'll give you $100.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Pretty much.
I mean, everything's made up. There is no value in anything other than, I don't know, maybe life.
Well, but there is a point, and that's what ticks me off. For all these,
But
like,
you can't
everybody's-
trade humans for humans because that's called slavery.
Yeah. But like that's
called
what ticks
human
me off
trafficking.
about all these
I can't trade
protesters.
10 humans for a Snickers.
No, you can't. Not over here anymore. But
Go to
no,
a
but think
protest. I bet
about
you
it.
can find a couple.
All these people protesting about what Doge is doing, what Trump's doing, what tariffs, they have no idea what the hell. Like, oh, free trade bullshit. There is no free trade. China has manipulated and lied and cheated since they were allowed into world trade in 2001. And
Aren't we
that's
talking
why
about tariffs
they have been
later?
expanding as much. And that's why China is in actually big trouble right now because their real estate economy was collapsing. So they shifted to mass manufacturing, which is why you can get so much cheap shit from China because they are way overproducing what the world wants.
Why are you jumping ahead?
I'm not jumping ahead.
We're talking about China and
No, I'm just saying when people are doing all this protesting and they're not paying attention to the fact that we can't get rid of anything. We can't do this. We can't change anything. We're 30 trillion plus dollars in debt. And whether that's a made up figure or not, it's based on our economy and our bond market. And once that fails, and we are fucked. And all these people most of these people that are protesting, are not really like, take away this free money from all this shit. What are they going to have? We're all screwed.
when did Occupy Wall Street become look at the fucking stock market?
That's just it. Everything they're protesting, if they got their way, would benefit the 1%. I don't have that kind of money. I'm more of a Jasmine Doge kind of guy.
Even those are low. Yeah, I'm more of a low income kind of.
If I had the money, I would park some on Bitcoin, but I like playing the lower coins because if you have enough money on it, you're going to get more money on the spikes.
Yeah.
Like you have to buy a lot of Bitcoin. So what you do is you buy like $1,000 in Jasmine, wait for the market spike, transfer it to Bitcoin till you get back to your 1,000, and just keep playing that. Because the lower, cheaper coins, they spike up and down all the time.
Yeah, they might spike like 30, 40%.
Oh yeah, if you're paying attention, you can make way more money playing the meme coins.
Yeah.
But you park all your earnings on Bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I'm all about that. I just don't got Bitcoin money. So that pretty much wraps up the protesting thing. It's just annoying and.
Agreed.
Well, see, he knows where I'm at. He just, has more money in.
Josh, most people.
You're probably the one who started the tips on Shib Emu, aren't you?
Most people have more money than us, so.
That's true. We looked it up. We're considered poor, so didn't know that. But
we the poors.
Well, that pretty well wraps it up. I don't think protests are getting. It's called autism. Helps you focus. Yeah, but they're not. They're just annoying as fuck. It's not changing anybody's mind. If you pay attention to the election cycles, do you think they would figure out, and they haven't changed anything, that they're literally pushing people toward what they're protesting? So, not trying to give anybody hits or hints on how to make your protest better, but,
Okay, we just got a random question here, but.
Your mom.
No, I think religion was made out of because people didn't understand what the world was and what things were, so they thought they were made by a supreme being. I think that's how the first religions were made, then kind of branched from there.
It might have had something to
It's
do
a
with
lack of.
religions.
I mean, I think that's how religion was born.
it's kind of interesting.
I'm sure psychedelics had a part of it. I think. But I'm not saying that was the reason they were made.
Think about it though. Way back in the day, when they came up with the 10 Commandments. Now, granted, that was written down after the fact.
Sure people. I mean, who's the guy that ate every mushroom to find out which one was poisonous, which one wasn't? So
the weird dude. But like even back in the day, that's Christianity, Old Testament, Judaism, but like the 10 Commandments are all based on just being a good person. So even back in way back in then, they based religion off this and just doing the right thing and not being a dick.
Like, hey, remember what?
But see, that was an interesting question.
Don't do that.
Well, that was an interesting question we brought up though. Is like, why do humans?
Yeah, we had a show about this.
Yeah, like have that I can't remember what episode it is, but we did do a show on this, and
It was
it's a
5
very
or 6
interesting
episodes
watch.
ago.
You should check it out. But it is. We talked about how it's strange how humans have this
Innate need for
want or
religion
need to believe in it.
to believe there's something else.
Well,
It's-
we
it's
have
like
mathematically
hardwired.
proven there is something else outside of our dimensional plane, and those are our favorite kind of episodes, talking about weird, crazy shit.
Yeah.
They're clowns.
Let's go ahead and run
Hey,
into
you got till
winners.
next week to watch the movie, Matt, by the way.
I know.
That's right.
I do.
So we let you go this week because we have a memoriam.
That's right. And you know what? And we might get suggestions from the audience of what movies Matt should watch and review.
Yes.
But his first
Not the
review is going to be
1998
Killer
space
Clowns
movie,
from Outer
though.
Space. Just saying.
Not the 1998 space movie.
I still got to download Tubi so I can watch that movie.
That's right. It's free, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, we're not
All
going
right,
to make you
let's
buy
run
any
into
movie,
winners
so
and
if we
losers
can't
of the
find
week.
a free movie for you to watch, we're not going to make you watch.
I'm pretty much happy.
In my book, you're a winner too. I think you're a loser.
Oops.
That was like the Oscar fucking playoff.
What the hell?
Yeah, screw you, Matt.
I see how it is.
Let's see.
Fuck your movie.
Pressure of the Big Bang is impossible. Something can't come from nothing. Never right, everything.
Antimatter.
See now, well, the Big Bang kind of plays in with
Dan Brown book.
"Let There Be Light." But no, I don't think any religion's got it right.
No,
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
either.
that the right. I think. Well, yeah, it's a good episode. You should check it out. We talk about all of that. But there's no way in hell that we're here from random circumstance. No way.
Yeah.
I also believe that.
If Matt was a cool looker-upper guy,
Could
he
be
would find out
Interstellar.
exactly what episode that was and share it.
It's true.
But now that we're in the winners and losers of the week, who's your loser, Kevin?
My loser is college sports. The transfer portal and NIL is ruining everything. Rosters are being turned over immediately. People aren't getting signed to contracts. So basically, a player can commit to a school, get whatever they're offering, and still 2 weeks later decommit and go somewhere else because they're getting paid more. There is no
Proctor.
there are no rules on NIL and the NCAA is doing nothing about this, and it is a Wild West bullshit fucking show in college athletics right now.
Wasn't the Supreme
And I don't blame the
Court
players. I
in on
mean, let them get paid. This is on. There is no structure for, anything. There's no contracts. Contracts don't have to be held up. Like even coaches have contracts. They can leave, but they have to be bought out or whatever. I mean, here there is absolutely no restrictions on what anybody can do. I mean, there's got to be restrictions. I mean, a 2-year contract at least or whatever. It's madness. It's absolutely hard to care about college sports when you don't know who's on your team the next year. There's no loyalty. It's just looking at colors and a symbol and hoping they do good because your team's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like people are going to college for knowledge.
Well, sports athletes
like
never went
that
to college for
Proctor.
knowledge.
Yes.
I mean,
like
I'm
that
sure some
Proctor, the
did, but I
lineman.
mean, the stars went there to go to the next level. Now they're getting paid more. They don't even have to go to the next level. They can just make more money in college than they can in the pros.
Yes. Oh, and the episode we were talking about is season 4, episode 7, Belief in God, a Human Trait. Very good episode. You should check it
What
out.
episode are we on now?
13.
Wow. Lucky number 13.
Who's your loser, Matt? You got one?
Yeah, Stephen Horsford.
Horseface.
Horseface. Not really. That's racist.
Why is he a horse?
No, he's black.
Oh.
Um,
Why is that a racist comment?
I
I don't
don't
think I've
know.
ever heard that. If he was Jewish, it'd be different.
is he? No.
No.
He's a
it's not.
Congress. Is he?
So why is
No,
he a
he's
loser?
a congressman from Nevada. He's a loser because he was talking to the tariff guy, the trade representative, and he was talking to him. Actually, he started yelling at him in his little meeting the other day.
Oh,
and
this is the
wouldn't let
WTF
him-
guy?
Yeah. He like yelled that about five times from what I could watch, stand watching. Because he was like, oh, have you talked to he would ask a question. The representative would try to answer. He would get a few words out. Horsford, heard
Just yelled
2
over
words
him.
of it. He heard 2 words of it and then went off that. He's like, I haven't talked to the president since I've been in this meeting. You haven't talked to the president of the United States?
It's like, no, I've been in
It's like,
this
I've
meeting.
been in this hearing. What are you
Dude,
doing?
it was bad. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
He started screaming at him, and then he's like, this is amateur hour, WTF.
And he literally said WTF. He didn't say what the fuck. He said WTF.
Yeah, just
I'm
say
like,
what
that's what that
means?
Man.
You're using acronyms in Congress.
Yeah, it's
You could say what the heck or
crazy.
whatever. I mean, but no, WTF.
WTF,
LOL.
man.
LAMFAO.
Yeah.
BRB, I gotta pee.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, when are we going to start? Why are we using acronyms in Congress? What has our country come to?
Well, he probably found out that people aren't overly receptive to the Democrats' new thing about cussing all the time.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It seems like something like people on the left have been doing to try to sound cool. It's like, yeah, we use naughty words. I mean, we do because we're blue collar construction people, and we just are horrible.
This is how I talk all the time, unless I'm around a client.
Yeah.
I don't.
Then he uses the acronyms.
I'm like, WTF, you. I don't know, dummy.
Well, I would have pulled that video map. I didn't know you wanted to use them for your loser. So.
Oh, good.
If it ever shows
I
up
didn't-
in the
I didn't
email,
tell you.
I might screen share just to
All right,
make
Josh, go to your loser, then go to Matt's winner, because I got to use. I do BRB, I gotta pee.
Oh, BRB. My loser of the week is the local police department down here. Because it's not really like I thought anything was going to come from it, but based on the fact that I filed a complaint or whatever you do, like to make a case against someone threatening my life, my family's life, as well as threatening to rape the kids I don't have.
What?
Yeah. You heard
Is
about that,
caller?
didn't you?
Was it
Huh?
the caller?
Yeah, the caller. Like some guy called and tried to do the whole jury duty scam that's been going around.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and I figured out it was a scam. He didn't appreciate it, and then he threatened my life and threatened to murder my family, and he was like, "I'll rape the kids," blah blah.
Oh, I didn't
Well,
hear that part.
So I was like, "Well, I was like, all right, well, I'll call the cops." Tell them I did. Filed a report, and got assigned to a detective.
Yeah.
And then got the detective's information, sent him an email with all my information, along with the audio clip that we got recorded of him threatening my wonderful, beautiful life. And I got an email shortly after saying that the case was closed and there was nothing they could do. And never once did I ever hear from the detective.
That's funny.
And here's what I know. I get it might be a burner phone, but in today's technology, I'm pretty sure you can take that number, even if it's a burner phone, it connects to the carrier and then figure out where that phone was when the phone call was made. It's called geolocating. But whatever. It was the fact that the detective never once called me or
asked
sent
you
any
questions.
correspondence to me whatsoever.
I'm guarantee what he did was it was on probably a stack of or in a computer base.
Okay, it's not very cool of you to just be gender biased. It was actually a female.
Well, whatever. Okay, well then she did a shitty job too.
It's the woman hater. I tell
Maybe
you.
I thought a woman would do a lot better, but I guess not. So.
I had a witness, never contacted the witness.
Listen, I had a perfect image of a slobby detective with one part of his shirt tucked out, coffee stains, little gruff, beer belly, and that was the guy being like, "Nope, not gonna do this today. It's closed."
Yeah, I mean that was the only thing that ticked me off.
Now I got a picture of a woman.
I mean, did I think that there was slight chance of them being able to do something with it, maybe. But what ticked me off is like zero correspondence whatsoever. And then they asked me to review my interaction. So I was like, okay, let's review it. And I was like, well, I'm not happy. This is why. And it's not like I can pick a different local police department to pick.
No.
Other than I could have possibly called the county.
Why do they have a rating system anyways? They're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, I know. It's like I feel like they owe me an apology.
Me answering these extra questions is more of a nuisance.
Look, and I don't know I have no idea where the hell this person was, but I don't take it kindly to someone threatening my life. Okay, I take that as a personal attack to me. It's not like it's scared,
It's definitely a personal attack.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it's not like I'm living in fear or anything. It just pisses me off when somebody does that. It's like, yeah, you're trying to scam me. I figure out you're a scammer, then you threaten my life. That ticked me off. And then it's like, all right, well, I'm going to file charges. Nothing. Not even a phone call. That's all I wanted. So, you know what? If they would have called and said, you know what, because of this, or this, there's just nothing is going to come with it, But no, they literally sent me an email and said this case is closed due to pick your reason. And there was like a list of reasons why it would be closed.
I think
fun times.
So, I'm just saying it ticked me off. So that's why they're my loser. Who's your winner, Kevin?
My winner is
There's
inflation.
fentanyl on the streets.
Yeah. Yes,
Not in
there
my
is.
town. My town is super clean with no homeless people.
I've been to your town. Your town's not clean.
That's a lie. I've never been there.
Very dirty town. Mine is inflation. It was predicted to go down to 2.5%, and it went down to 2.4%. So the economy and interest rates are going to be better, so faster. So, hooray. That's it.
Yay.
I mean, there's nothing else put in there that's... No.
Yeah, my insurance premiums still seem to keep going up for some reason. Whatever.
Well, you had a person almost hit you yesterday, so...
I know, that was weird.
I still think they might have hit you, but this didn't cause any damage.
Yeah, someone drove up next to me. I swear it sounded like they sideswiped me. And then they took off, ran a red light, and they cut across the street so I couldn't get to them. So I took down their license plate, got back to the shop, and there was nothing wrong with my truck. So I'm like, what the hell was going on there?
Maybe they just nicked you and didn't do anything, but they were like, oh, crap.
Is this going to happen due to what we're going to be talking about during Happenings of the Week? Possibly.
Yeah,
We'll get into that, and we will ask you to
certain goods
expand. Who's your winner, Matt?
I don't really have one.
It's hard to pick winners. It's a lot easier to pick losers.
Right.
It really is. It's hard to find good news around here, anywhere in the country.
I don't know. Michael B. Jordan
winner,
and Haley Steinfeld's friendship?
Sure. It's not weird at all.
Who?
It's not. Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan.
I don't know who either of those. I know one was Creed.
Yes.
Apollo Creed's kid.
And the other
I don't know
one.
who Haley Steinfeld is.
Oh, she's Josh Allen's fiance now, but she's a big actress.
Matt,
what?
Do you want to be a movie reviewer?
Yeah.
/ critic.
Yeah.
Do you think Michael B. Jordan is a good actor?
Yes.
So you're going to be a shit movie reviewer.
I guess Josh feels differently.
Apparently.
I don't think he's a good actor at all.
I don't know. I think he is. He's done good. I think he's done bad.
What
I
movies
he
has he done?
I didn't
good
think
in?
he was very good in the Black Panther movie.
He wasn't good in that.
I thought he was
What?
good in Creed, though.
You think he was good in Black Panther?
No, in
Yes.
Creed.
I'm talking about Matt.
Oh,
Yes, and Fruitvale Station and
I think he
Friday Night
way
Lights Go.
overacted. Way overacted.
are there any good
In what?
movies?
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Camp, which will be one of the reviews that Matt has to review.
I'm sorry, what?
Are there any good
What movie?
movies?
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, you're totally watching that.
I haven't seen that movie in
Yeah,
Long time.
You're gonna have to watch it again. Great movie.
Is that the one where John Cena takes over for him because he looks just like him?
I'm pretty sure John Cena was shitting his
Roided
pants
up.
when that movie was made.
Yeah, John. This was like 1990 something, man.
I know.
I don't even think I don't even know if it was 90s.
I know. I've seen it.
I don't think John.
I've
Cena
just
was
seen
in
the
it.
side by side between those two, especially after Cena lost a bunch of weight.
But you know what is good? John Cena is good as Peacekeeper.
Yeah, that was
He's
pretty good.
great as Peacekeeper. Great.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never. I mean, I've seen a couple movies where he's all right, but I think he overacts in a lot of his movies.
Who, Cena?
No, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan. Well, he's been acting since he was
Even which
10.
means he should be better. Even his credit card commercials. Oh, where am I gonna go today? Oh, the sushi took me to a beach in the Bahamas. It was so nice.
I don't know if I've seen that commercial. I don't watch a lot of
It's
commercials.
very
anymore.
forgettable, except for me, who got annoyed by it. Because I'm like, why is this guy's not that good of an actor? What the fuck?
I don't know. I think he's been good stuff. I think he's been all right.
I don't know. Maybe it might just be that I feel like he might be taking role. I don't know what the hell.
I don't think he was very good in Fantastic Four, but I'm also biased because that movie fucking sucked.
The whole movie was sucked. Nobody was good in that movie.
No, that movie
it was
sucked.
just bad.
Period.
It was just bad.
They're making another one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes,
based
they're
on the
totally
50s.
redoing it. So it's
Based
60s,
in the
but
50s?
then
Don't
it's a
ever correct me.
futuristic 60s. I don't know how that's going to happen. It's in another
So kind of like Fallout.
dimension. It's going to be another dimension, kind of. Not Fallout, though.
Well, Fallout is like 1960s. Only they have like bomb shelters.
But
and
eventually
stuff.
they're going to have to come to today's time and link up with the other dimensions and stuff.
This
But,
stuff is getting stupid.
and then get Doomsday,
What was the last good Marvel movie?
Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 Rings. I like the 10 Rings.
Yeah, 10
movie.
Rings wasn't bad. I don't know that one. It is harder and
there's
harder.
kinda
I do
shows.
feel, based on the Critical Drinker review of things, my my bar for movies must have gone down. Because he talks shit about a lot of movies. I'm like, I didn't think that was that bad.
Oh, I didn't mind the last Ant-Man one.
No,
I
I
didn't think it was
didn't.
that bad.
one. I didn't like it.
You know the
I-
villain's
I
not going to
thought
be
it
in
had
the sequel
point-
because he's
I
in
thought it's
jail.
funny in parts.
And he's
and-
gone. I mean, yeah, 'cause Paul Rudd's funny.
Yeah.
That's why. And then Kang, the bad guy, he was good, but I think they messed his character up as they built it. But now he's completely gone because
he was allegedly
shit.
abusive. Then I think it was found out he wasn't.
no, he got charged with it.
Did he get charged? Did he get convicted? Or was it just has he gone?
I don't think he had to do jail time. I think they just said, "Hey, yeah, you did this."
You know, it's a good movie that I just watched. It's kind of not older, but oldish. Is Gentleman. The Gentleman.
The Gentleman?
McConaughey.
Yes, that one was great.
That was
I
a
love
good
that
saw
movie.
that one.
They made it into a show, which wasn't bad, but
I
wasn't
don't know if I've seen that one.
good. It's on
Turns
Net-
out I'm a pretty big Guy Ritchie
It's on
fan.
Netflix.
Guy Ritchie's good. I like Guy Ritchie.
I mean, I'm not sure his decision making on marriages is all that good, but he did put Madonna in some pretty messed up movies.
All right, let's move on. I'm done talking movies.
Let's see. So my winner is Middle Class America because,
Oh, I forgot we're still on this.
well, that was my winner.
Okay, I thought we were past winners and losers completely.
It's Middle Class America because I think there are more jobs being created. We're getting less federal jobs, more real jobs. We're bringing back manufacturing back to this country, which you have to have a strong industrial base to be a strong country. So that's why they're my winner. Now we'll go on Trump's Truth of the Week, which is not me reading one, but I just found this so hilarious that I felt like it needed to be the Trump Truth of the Week.
What I say is what I say. And the Adam Shifty Shifts. Can you believe this guy? He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. And the biggest head. We call him watermelon head. I'd say, how could that big fat face stand on a neck that looked like this finger? How can it? It was the weirdest thing. It's a mystery. Nobody can understand it. But he's one of the most dishonest human beings I've ever seen. And, you know, how we can allow people like that to run an office is a shame, but we did. He was in charge of the witch hunt. You know, he was in charge of the fake witch hunt with Russia, Russia, Russia. It was a made-up story.
What I say is what I say.
Sorry, Matt. I haven't gone through and redone everything.
Again? Jeez. You really don't want me on the show.
Nah, I mean, they can hear you, though, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, that was great, though. Here, let me switch you over here, Matt. Get you back in the scene so everybody can see your smiling face.
Just pretend that logo's you, Matt. Damn it.
Just like that was just, and that, but really, that asshole deserved it.
Yeah, that asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess there's a lot of uproar about Schiff molesting about DOJ investigating Schiff because in like the 1980s he molested a black kid. And
yeah, that was a great Trump truth. Just like, I don't know. That's what I voted for.
His name?
Adam Schiff.
All right, let's roll into Doge update of the week.
Of course there's some wasteful spending, but you don't use a meat axe and cut everything.
Fox to reveal what's really going on. Doge exposed our immigration asylum disaster. That was the tip of the iceberg. Now, here's the story. Doge has found that immigration gave a work authorization document to illegals just 5 months after they filed for asylum. That document allowed them to work while they waited to hear whether their asylum request had been accepted or denied. So they could work as an illegal, knowing
like
it would take years before their case was heard. The Immigration Department mailed them a Social Security number. No interview, no proof of identity. Just put it in the mail. Here's your number. In 2021, Doge says 270,000 new aliens were issued Social Security numbers, 590,000 in 2022, 964,000 in 2023, and 2.1 million in 24, right before Biden left office. Doge also discovered that 1.3 million aliens are now receiving Medicaid. Millions received driver's licenses, some registered to vote, and Doge says some actually did vote. Try and square that against Democrat claims that Musk is destroying Social Security and cutting Medicaid. He's not destroying. He's weeding out people who don't qualify. Who is really guilty of misinformation in this case? It is not Elon Musk.
I thought I fixed that. I thought I fixed it.
He looks, I mean, he doesn't look like Alfred, but he sounds exactly like the guy who played Alfred in the Batman trilogy.
So all English people sound the same to you?
Michael
Well,
Caine?
a certain part of England, I guess. Like, there's a Cockney accent. It doesn't sound anything like that.
Well, that's true. Depends on what part of England you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I mean, that's what, it's funny. People are like, oh, he's going to destroy Social Security. If by destroy you mean get people off it that are supposed to be getting it, then yeah. Which leaves, well, you know, we might actually be able to get Social Security.
We're not.
Is anybody younger than us
Get that
right now?
dream out of your head.
I'm just saying.
It's not happening.
That's what's hilarious. The people that are protesting this, there's no way in hell they're getting
No,
it.
they're all 20-year-olds and
It's not happening.
30s.
It's not happening.
Yeah, they're not getting shit.
Well, let's roll it into happenings of the week, Kevin and Matt and Kevin. You may or may not show
Oh, you remember? You remember?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening?
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here.
Yeah, he's probably been ripped off.
Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that
I
look
want
like?
Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese
Not made in
people. They
China.
brought great literacy,
Not made in
art,
China.
and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on
talking
a
about
second,
tariffs
Kevin.
on
Well,
60
I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of
It's very
tax on the
It's
goods? they're going to
short-lived.
have?
There will be
But what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive.
400% tomorrow morning,
from
cheese on an
China.
airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
Hey, I'm here.
It's from Indonesia, and they made a deal.
Yeah.
Because
They
you
literally
showed
just
that
put
when
that
it
up.
wasn't on. Just want to let you know.
What?
What?
Like you put the banner up when
No, I
that video
didn't. I
was
put
playing,
it.
so it did go up on it. Did it?
Yes, it did.
Oh, I didn't
But
know
you
that.
can't display that enough.
Yeah, that's true.
The biggest loser in this entire tariff thing is China.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I build everything here. I'm American made. I make American shit.
Our swag comes out of California, buddy.
Yeah. Which
I'm not
I mean-
saying where it is or isn't shipped in from, but
it's put together.
it's
in California.
printed in California. I don't know. I don't know if this has got a tag on where it's made or not.
Does it have it?
Made in Mexico.
It's not China though. Not the
Not
Chiners.
China. It's at least on this side of the hemisphere.
Yeah. But I mean, these tariffs are working. I mean, you're right. I think this is gonna hurt China way more than it is us. We can withstand paying higher prices if we have to for a while. China cannot. Their economy's on a pin. I mean, it could easily collapse.
Some people are
And
saying they're
once
going
it
broke.
does collapse and people are out of work in China, they're going to rise up against the supreme leader. And you know, and would you say he was like the military's against him right now?
There are China experts that pay attention to what's going on in China, and they're saying that Xi Jinping is losing control of the military and just like abroad politically. So it's on
I
very
also
shaky
heard that
ground.
they will not
The only
raise-
problem with that is, though, is like, which it has to be done no matter what. But if this works out the way Trump wants it to work out, it kind of looks like it is with the way the world's reacting, because nobody on the planet likes China, because they're affecting everybody's manufacturing base, because China turned into a straight manufacturing, exporting country, and it's flooding the entire world with their shit, including if you have a cat and you ever look into getting an automated, I just found this out today, automated litter box, there's one that has like when it dumps, it brings up and it will kill your cat because there's no safety thing. So apparently
there's one, but it's not like that.
They
Well,
call
I
it
mean,
a white. They call it a white label product, where they make like the same product for like 5 different manufacturers, but little PSA, if you will. But it's the kind that it rolls back to sift the litter and dump the stuff out, but as it's rolling, it rolls the bottom up over the opening. And there's nothing to stop that if, like, your cat sticks its head in it or its body in it.
Oh, it doesn't have a door?
No, like, it doesn't have a door. It rolls up. Like, I guess it blocks it, but if your cat is in between that, it
Ugh.
just keeps going. And it puts up, like, 25 pounds of pressure and then just holds it.
God damn.
So, yeah. So, don't buy that litter box.
Well, I mean, China doesn't have like safety standards. I mean, let's be real. Like whenever you heard of a toy that had lead paint in it, it was always a Chinese-made toy. It was.
Well,
I mean,
China's
all
been
these,
caught doing stuff like apparently China honey is a big thing where what they've been doing is, and they'll
milky wasps.
do what?
I don't know.
No, like what they'll do is like
Milky
they'll
Way.
ship. In order to because a lot of people don't want their honey because it's because of hormones that are in it, or sometimes it's mixed with like rice sugar syrup, stuff like that. They ship it to like Indonesia, Vietnam, stuff like that, and then it gets resent out from there. So it makes it look like it's made in Vietnam. And and the only people that buy that kind of stuff is that's not cool, bro. I have a cat. In China, it probably is though.
Yeah, that's probably what it was made for.
But like the people that buy that kind of honey are industrial places, so you never know. Your Honey Nut Cheerios might be made in China, but that's one of the ways they cheat.
I'm surprised they even have honey over there because he won't he banned Winnie the Pooh over there. People kept saying he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, a little bit. So
okay, they allow honey because who's a big fan of honey.
Well, based on what's going on though,
got stuck in a tree for it.
Is this tariff? Are all the tariffs and everything he's doing really about leveling the playing field, worldwide, or is this a setup for China?
I think it's a setup for China
because he did the 90-day reprieve.
I think it's both. I think he meant it when he put all these tariffs on people, but I think he thought what happened was going to happen was people were going to come to the table, be like, "Hey, let's make a deal," because people knew. I mean, they knew they were ripping us off. They knew what they were doing, so they actually got called out for us. They're like, "Well, shit, the game's over. Let's negotiate." So most people did. China, on the other hand, was like, "No, we're big old China. We're not backing down to anybody." So then Trump's like, "Well, fuck you. Let's 125%, 134%. All right, let's make it 164."
What do you guys say to the people that think he's doing that to play with the market so him and his billionaire friends can?
Technically, he told everybody to buy.
Yeah, it's not insider trading when you tell the entire country to buy
start
stocks.
Buying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not market manipulation when you tell the whole world to buy.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, if anything, they could have stunted the numbers.
He said everybody should buy today, like Monday morning.
Yeah, it's not like he told his buddy.
He told everybody.
All the people.
Like, well, I don't have the money to put in stocks, so it didn't help me. No, I'm like, well, dummy, you can put some money in there if you have it.
Well, this is what I don't get. All these people bitching about Trump being friends with the 1%ers and all this shit. The reason why we have such a huge wealth gap now, and I don't have any problem with rich people, and I don't want their money, and I don't want distribution of wealth, is because of
I'll take it.
Our China trade.
Yeah, I'll take anybody's money, but I'm not going to ask for it.
I do not. No, I do not want them taking from people that earned it and giving it to me who didn't. I don't want that.
I agree.
If you want that, go move to a socialist or communist country.
I agree. Everybody should make their own money. Unless you want to will it to me.
Bye.
Buy a ticket to China. The reason why you have all these super rich and then all of us assholes down here in the middle is because we've gone to a service import style economy. Back in the 50s and 60s, most of the wealth was in the middle class. Most of the wealth in America, you still had your super rich, but most of the wealth was in middle America. The reason why that's not here today is because all the manufacturing and blue collar jobs have gotten shipped away, and now all the money's in exports, imports, and all that shit.
And innovation.
So all these people protesting all this shit and the change is supposed to go on are literally cutting off their nose to spite their face. So yeah, I think the tariffs are going good. I think I wouldn't be surprised if the overall goal was to screw China, because this is going to fuck up their 1,000 or 100-year plan. Do you think if this stuff starts crumbling over there, though, do you think they're going to... The only other way to half-ass keep your economy alive if everything's crashing is war.
Yeah. I think they'll invade Taiwan just to...
kick something off. I don't even... They could. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's why there's rumors of Xi Jinping control of the military is getting a little shaky.
Yeah, maybe.
Because China fucked with India, and India kind of smacked the shit out of them. So I don't. They have a lot of people. I don't know exactly how effective they are.
Yeah, I don't
Even
think
though they got supersonic,
India almost has as
hypersonic
many
missiles.
people as China anymore. I mean, I'm not sure that.
India
China.
has more people than China.
India does?
Yeah, they always have.
Well, China
Which
has
is super
most people
cool
there now.
because India is going to allow U.S. products into their market. That's a huge market.
That's a huge win.
Yeah. Take more of that asbestos.
Yeah, we're getting all their asbestos.
India was the largest consumer of asbestos up till a few. Well, they might still be.
I'm guessing they still are.
See the guys processing the raw bags with a
Oh yeah,
do-rag
with
on
like
his
a
face.
fucking shirt over his face.
We had some Supreme Court decisions. One that allows Trump to deport people as well as fire them.
Yeah, this is what these are both common sense presidential powers.
Yeah.
I don't know why we needed anything a Supreme Court decision on this. And I mean, it's just this whole lawfare fucking district judge fucking trying to do national fucking like nationwide fucking injunctions.
There's
Is
a
just
lot of
stupid.
fucking going on.
Something has
If it
to
does,
change.
he's been drinking.
Somebody has to. Somebody has to. Well, no, I'm still worked up about the protest thing. Somebody has to like stop this nationwide injunctions from district judges. This is just dumb.
Well, they're saying they shouldn't be able to apply. Somebody's making the argument that only the Supreme Court can do a nationwide injunction anyway.
Yes.
A district judge only has power over his jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So what's up with Barrett?
I think she's
Wade
either
Barrett.
being blackmailed or somebody's paying her off, because Amy Coney Barrett, when she first became a Supreme Court justice, actually, did stuff by the Constitution, the interpretation of the Constitution. Now she's doing stuff like the Democrats do off of feelings.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, not off constitutional law or interpretation of the Constitution. She's doing it off her interpretation of her feelings.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. There's just something weird there. Like, people can say whatever, but they're not. Her current rulings do not match her entire history of rulings.
Yeah, so
it's
something's
weird.
happening. Either she got sucked into the web of Washington, D.C.'s fucking 90%, 99% fucking Democrat people there, or somebody's got something on her, or somebody's paying her.
Yeah. Well, you guys take a listen to this and talk amongst yourselves when it's done. I'll be right back.
BRB got to pee.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
Well, one, let's be real here. You don't pick cotton anymore. It's all done by machinery. I mean, almost all, other than like wineries and like stuff like that. I think, and maybe some orchards and stuff. I mean, no one else is picking stuff. All fields are pretty much. You have tractors.
Yeah, I don't.
Also,
she's like the Angel Reese of politics.
She's basically talking about modern day slavery.
Yeah,
that we need to keep illegals here to do cheap work.
She actually said in another video that I just saw before I got on, basically that we need the immigrants to stay here and do all of our farming. It's like you can't afford to buy a house because of the immigration laws. You can't afford your groceries because the immigration laws. You can't do all this because there's no more immigrants.
Yeah, that's not why I can't afford groceries.
I know. It's like, what are you talking about?
I can tell you that most farming is done with machinery.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Maybe, I mean, other than like oranges and like
Corn.
grapes. Yeah, I think apples, anything that grows on trees probably.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Peanuts do not grow on trees.
Do they not? I don't know.
No.
Whatever. Some kind of nuts. Don't cashews grow on trees? I don't know. I don't know. I thought some kind of nut did. I could have swore something did.
Have you seen that?
Kevin.
Well, it doesn't matter. Most things are done by machinery, anyways. But I mean, what she's talking about is we need to keep them here because they're cheap labor. That's basically some kind of slavery.
Well, see, that's what's fucked up though, because she makes this like we need to keep them here for cheap labor because we ain't picking. So she makes a slavery reference.
Yeah.
So she literally are comparing today's illegal
we've been the
immigrants
slaves,
to
so they
slaves.
can be the slaves
We
now.
can't get rid of the slaves.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure there's people that are like homeless that would love to have a fucking one of their jobs.
Have you seen Stephen King's? I guess it was a short story, but the movie called 1922.
I haven't seen the movie. I've read the book.
The movie called 1920?
Or I've read the short story. Yeah.
About the farmer and his wife and everything.
I don't think I saw that.
And the wife dies.
I'm gonna have. Well, you both need to watch
the wife,
it. Be another one to review.
Basically, the wife is haunting the dude.
Yeah, it is super
because
fucked
he
up.
killed
The
her.
movie is super fucked
her.
up. But the reason why I bring it up though is they actually show like them farming, and there is a tractor that knocks everything down, and then the guys have to pick all the corn off the stalks and shit. We have come a long way from that.
Yeah.
Well, there's still some corn that gets.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they still. I'm assuming nowadays
you can
kids still
detassel
detassel.
still.
Yeah.
But I think there's still machinery that can now do detassel to where detasseling.
No, even
isn't
back
what it
when
used to be.
when I did detasseling, they still had machines that went over and got most of the tassels out.
Yeah.
But then we'd have to go back through and get the ones that missed.
Yep. Like when my brother did it, they didn't have that machine. He just had to detassel everything.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
There were a couple times I went down to Arkansas and they had a few fields of corn. I detasseled there. I did
it once. I did not get asked to come back because I got in trouble because I'm lazy. I took all the tassels I ripped off and stacked them up in my basket and made a seat.
Oh, that's working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, they were like, you can't do that. Kick them out. I'm like, I don't want to stand. So yeah, like you have the main time and then like there's like the week or so after. I did not get called back for that. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a good idea.
It is.
That's all I'm saying.
No, nobody's gonna deal with it.
Did you hear about the old Keystone Pipeline spill?
I have not.
Did not.
I saw it on a local news post, but I was thinking they're going to try to make a bigger deal out of it because it's not the Keystone XL pipeline, but apparently the Keystone pipeline has had a lot of spills, some very huge because of manufacturing problems. But yeah, that was not really in the news, but as much as local news, I guess.
Over 147,000 gallons of Canadian oil in North Dakota.
Tastes like syrup.
For U.S. refineries.
That's what Canadian oil is. It's just syrup.
What do y'all think of this?
Scientists have brought back the dire wolf after 12,000 years. Colossal Biosciences, a genetic engineering company, just made history by creating 3 dire wolf pups, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, named after the iconic Game of Thrones characters. These legendary predators once roamed North and South America before vanishing after the last ice age. So how did scientists pull this off? They extracted ancient DNA from fossils as old as 72,000 years, then combined it with DNA from gray wolves, their closest living relatives. Next, they used cloning techniques to grow embryos and transferred them into a surrogate. The result? 3 healthy pups born in late 2024. Today, these de-extinct wolves are thriving in a 2,000-acre ecological reserve in the U.S. And this is just the beginning. Colossal Biosciences is already working to bring back the woolly mammoth by 2028. De-extinction is no longer science fiction, it's here.
Because why not?
Buddy.
Why do you want a
Because
dire
we
wolf
can't.
back?
There's already people coming out and shitting on that, saying they're not real dire wolves.
Well, it's because they
Well,
used part of.
technically they're not.
Well, they
they're
used
not.
part of gray wolf's genome, but then they changed the ones they had to because a gray wolf and a dire wolf had 99.7% common genes. They just had to switch a few of them. So yes, they technically did. They just used the original gene from gray wolf.
Are we on our way to Jurassic Park?
Yes, of course we can't bring back dinosaurs because DNA
Which one of those fucking movies ever ended well?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, but we've never learned from it. But no, we can't bring back dinosaurs.
Why can't we?
Because the
there's
DNA
some
breaks
cells.
down after like 2 million years.
Not if
They
it's
just found some
locked in
cells
sap.
that were from back
Yeah.
like 42 million years ago, I think they said.
Yeah,
How?
it was locked in sap.
I don't know.
Haven't you seen the first
No,
movie?
That's not possible.
How do you know?
Because it's been proven it's not. DNA breaks down no matter where it is after like so many millions of years.
What about in the vacuum of space? Maybe there's space dinosaurs. You don't fucking know.
I don't know about space dinosaurs. I guess in the vacuum of
Still under
space it might not break
investigation.
down. I don't know how it survives, but it might not break down. Oh, hold on. Speaking of space, do you know there might be living things on the moon?
Like what?
Bacteria.
Rat.
Not like people or fucking space aliens, but like bacteria and shit.
Well, that'll be interesting to. Well,
Because
I
there
mean,
is bacteria
they're
that
called extreme microbes or something like that.
yeah, there's like bacteria that have been found on the shuttle after it comes back, like from orbit.
Yeah, they find them around. Well, they find them even in space, like on the outside of the space station
Yeah.
and stuff.
So
It's
it is
kind of like the
possible.
same.
I mean, we
amoebas
might have
or-
brought it there. I mean, it might came from Earth, but it's living on the moon.
Well, yeah, they call them like these extreme microbes, like the ones that survive in the thermal vents underneath the ocean, where it's way too hot for anything to actually survive, or way too acidic,
Yeah.
and there's still stuff living there.
Yeah, these are in like the or whatever wherever they call it, the craters where no like radiation hits and shit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can see like reflective or glowing spots on the moon, and they're thinking that's it. They're bioluminescent.
Bioluminescent. Well, that's all I had down for happenings. You got anything else?
Nope.
Not really.
I did, but I don't really care about it.
You don't care about it?
Nah, it's not that important.
Come on, talk to us, Kevin.
No, I can't remember what it was, so it obviously
We're
wasn't
here
that
for you.
important. I talked to you earlier about it. You're like, we should talk about it, and then I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Matt,
Yo,
now that you're on here and you're a movie guy, who is the actress that was super like
Oh,
into
yeah.
communism back during the Vietnam?
She played in Barbarella.
a super communist in Vietnam.
Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett. That's who we're talking about.
Okay.
Got it.
I still can't remember what you were talking to me earlier about, but
No, we found it though.
finally took an hour and 40 minutes, but we finally figured it out. Well, normally, because we are going to sadly end going on for over a 2-year segment, and I would end the show with our normal thing, but we're going to roll into the segment, and we're just going to go right into the closing because it's a very sad day.
It is a sad day.
It is a
Maybe
sad
the
day.
saddest episode we've ever had. All because of this.
All because of this. So we are going to run you into the very last white and all slurs of the week. And then we will see you next week. So until next week, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And I'm Matt.
And this was the Lost Art of Common Sense. And this is the last white slur of the week.
What's a honky?
Brought to you by Tuckers. Ladies, are you tired of having to say eyes up here due to that unsightly dong-shaped bulge in your crotchal region? Then Tuckers is the feminine underwear for you. Their patented she-shaft shackle, conveniently located in the frontal gooch area, ensures a secure bulge-free fit. Made of 100% recycled garbage from the streets of San Francisco, not only will that pesky moose knuckle be comfortably transformed into a true Arabian camel toe, you'll also be overtaken by that self-gratifying feeling knowing that you're helping clean up one of America's not-so-pretty-anymore cities. Tuckers, don't let that pesky penis ruin your girl's night out. That's Tucker's, the ultimate cucumber elastic restraint system. Use promo code Buffalo Bill for 10% off your first order.
Abe Lincoln, Bacon Bits, Betty Crocker, Big Nose, Bird Shit, Bleach Boy, Blowfish, Blue-Eyed Devil, Boogeyman, Boss, Brady, Buffy, Bunker, Cabbage, Cancer, Casper, Caucasoid, Corky Caveman, Cheesehead, Chirp, Clamhand, Clampet, Clay Eater, Coal Burner, Coal Hauler, Cock Sauce, Confederate, Corky, Cornford Cow, Fuck, Cracker, Crackerjack, Crick Gypsy, Crisco, Custer, Dandruff, Devil, Ditch Pig, Ditz, Dog Fucker, Dried Shit, Gilligan, Goat Roper, Golden Toe, Flat Ass, Flat Bag, Flock of Seagulls, Flower Bag, Frosty, Ghost, Ghoul, Gomer, Goober, Gorilla Head, Grand Dragon, Grey Boy Girl, Gringo Gump, Hayseed, Hick, Hillbilly, Hill Jack, Hill William, Holly, Honky, Hoosier, Horseface, Lice Nester, Lily, Lint Head, Lobster, the probably right Jane Goodall, John Deere, John Rocker, Johnny Reb, Keebler, Kook, Lint Head, Lobster, Lynchmonger, Mac Lord, Maggot, Marshmallow, Martha Stewart, Mayflower, Mayonnaise, Mayo Monkey, Mayo Packet, Memphis, Mesh Back, Mud Shark, Militardard, Mullet, Nilla, Offbeat, Old Fig, Opie, Palaface, Pancake, Paris Hilton, Neg, Night Rider, Night Light, Nilla, Pasty Face, Patty Peckerwood, Perm Sperm, Pig Fucker Pilgrim, Piney, Pink Toe Pinky, Po Bucker, Polar Bear, Poppin' Fresh, Powder, Powdered Donut, Printer, Poss, Rabbit, Raw Chicken, Recyclables, Red Beard, Redneck, Rice Cracker, Rice King, Ritz Cracker, Rock Spider, Round Eye, Ruba, Soul Time, Salt Demon, Soul Serial Killer, Serpents, Sheep Dip, Sheet Head, Ship Palm, Shit Kicker, Skinhead, Slack Jaw, Slim Shady, Smoke Jumper, Snake, Snowflake, Snowman, Storm Watcher, Stump Gash, Tree Jumper, Swan, Swine, Termite, Tiny Tim, Tornado Bait, Trailer Trash, Trash, Tree Looper, Trisket, Trog, Turkey, Uncle Daddy, Vamp, Vanilla Ice, Wasp, Wiener, Wet Dog, Whack, Wheat Thin, Whiskey Tanko, White Devil, White Eye, White Out, White Bread Dog, White Trash, Whitey, Wink, Wonder Bread, Wood, Yeehaw, Yogurt, Yuppie.